Good evening, this is Eric Zawadzki. I'm the developer for the Deviant Renegades line. This is my regular tabletop group meeting in quarantine. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Jake playing Steve.
Noel playing Benji.
Rachel playing Tamsin.
Mark playing Solomon.
All right, let's start out with some quotes.
All right. We need to find out where the other buildings are. Wait, that's me. I need to find out where the other buildings are. Check his Google history, Tamsin. I already have a fair amount of instability. What's one more? Oh yeah, one of the nurses, Meat Puppet, or Muppet for short.
Probably has a family, you guys.
Cosmo, come have a party. You can bring your lady friend. Lady friend? Another raccoon? Am I glowing? If not, then I'm a mobile. Oh, hold on. Am I glowing? If not, then I'm an immobile guy in the past.
I don't remember that.
You said it.
Might have used it.
Ouch, that actually hurt. Is this pain? No wonder I didn't like it. This feels like a huge civil rights violation. Do we know a good lawyer? We know a lawyer. I'd like to pause for a minute and note that we have superpowers and failed at a regular theft. We don't want a firm Jared.
Okay.
Use your imagination on that last one.
I'm not gonna. It's another thing I got to spend a lot of time listening to today. It was Jared scenes. Oh boy. All right, so you have 3 beats to the beat jar from a blast session. Saul has decided to declare Serendipitous Gardens, the building, as a wavering loyalty touchstone. Tamsin is picking up pheromones with a tie to fluctuating variation. So she never knows how hot people are going to find her, or how agreeable or friendly or whatever. So, and let's see, and she feared a medium instability in order to pick up that scar. End of the chapter. What am I looking for? Reviewing variations. There's a whole lot of agreement on everything here for the most part. Benji's is save Zechariah. Saul is fight off Malio in Draconis. And Steve is defend Chris, which is what he's been calling Zechariah since session 1. Tamsin is confirm that Danica is at the black site and rescue her. So there's always got to be one. Start out. We're talking about some formalities here. Before we get into session proper, we were talking a little bit about the proto-conspiracy that you are building up around yourselves. So let's have a little talk about that. Let me get my notes on. Oh, conspiracy notes. Okay.
I hadn't been thinking about it too much because I figured we had 2 combats ahead of us before we needed to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine. There's not gonna be any combat tonight, probably. Maybe. We'll see.
Zechariah's a liar.
Zechariah's a liar? No, Zechariah's not a liar.
Now I can try the Mr. Bird.
Lawyer.
Same thing.
The demon is what he is. The demon. From my previous notes, it sounded like you had kind of established a couple principles and a vice. So principle 1 was protecting this reality from the other one. Principle 2 was minimize new divergences. And then you picked up the vice of clumsy, which, that makes sense. That's sort of like you're not like physically like clumsy, but just having a tendency to like blunder into things that you probably should have left alone.
Yes,
Um,
see the heist from last session.
See the
Yeah.
heist from last
Yeah.
session.
Because of scars, we're a thing run by deviants, not run by normie peeps with
Mhm.
no
MBAs.
morals.
It sounds like Rachel's planning on saving up some XP to upgrade her current linchpin status to the hierarchical linchpin status. So you could have a hierarchical linchpin pretty easily once you get to that point. Did anyone have any thoughts on the third principle and the virtue?
No.
Could the virtue be something like that we're personally invested in the sense that like I don't know, like it means more to us than just like a success or failure that are like all of our lives are on the line.
Well, I'd say that to a certain extent, that's conspiracies in general, especially devoted.
Yeah, okay, maybe I can't think of a way to turn that into a virtue.
Would sanctuary work? Like in that we offer it to other diverged who don't want to be puppets of the machine?
I think there's a direction that can be gotten to from that. And I think that's probably a decent virtue is, or it could be even a principle. I mean, you do seem to pick up the lost souls, don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
welcoming.
Or like beacon of hope or something like
Safe harbor.
Optimistic.
Mystic.
Naive. I mean, no, that's something else.
Yeah, naivety is not a virtue.
it can be in this circumstance. A lot of very weird things can be virtues and vices that don't seem like virtues and vices. Okay, maybe that's an example. I can't think of a good.
No, maybe
Maybe clumsy should be our virtue then.
having that be our third whatever might make
Principle.
sense because
Yeah.
the goal, because I was thinking, because then if we actually have serendipitous gardens as both a literal and metaphorical sanctuary, we can fill up all of those units without having to worry about violating.
Oh, no, that's really clever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We could be a zoo.
Yeah, let's fill 200 units with deviants. That sounds like a great plan.
That is our plan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We need to fill it up. We don't want more people to diverge. We have a building that causes divergence.
And we know that if you've already diverged, you're fine.
It can't hurt you. It
Well-
just becomes demon food.
So serendipitous
Deviant.
gardens is a safe harbor for deviants. Is the third
Principle.
principle?
A safe space for deviants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
What
better
kind of
than
thing
deviants.
is a virtue supposed to fill for a conspiracy? Like, what practical effect does it have?
Well, there are what are they called? Objectives that you
Okay.
get, and they're tied either to a principle, a virtue, or a vice. Usually, if you have usually if you have a little bit of control over the conspiracy, but not much, you can actually elect to build your own objective for your team. If you weren't full up already. But it has to be based on one of the principles. So advance one of the principles. When you are a little higher up, you can build one that also instead draws on a virtue, on your virtue. And if you're like in control, if you're a hierarchical linchpin, you can basically even create an objective for your entire team that is based on the conspiracy's vice. So that's the main practical effect from the perspective of the goaded.
Okay.
She's on the exercise bike behind me. Don't hurt yourself, little one.
Well, maybe we should think about things that we aren't currently, but that are. Go ahead.
Hope to be. So, I was just suggesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not murderous.
Not currently, but it's an aspiration.
Competent.
Competent. Basic competency.
I don't know that the one's gonna fly. That one's a little bit too
On the nose.
something like that.
What if we went in a kind of different direction? What if our virtue was something like island, in the sense that like maybe our goal is to, strand this, burgeoning conspiracy out of the web of pain, like, so that other people don't get their hooks into it.
Something like independent or insular,
Yeah.
or
Sure.
independent would be a solid one. I mean, we know what it means, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like we don't intend to reach out and form bonds with like other evil conspiracies doing their own thing. Like,
True.
I could definitely see us, connecting to other kinds of things in the web of pain, like, like, I don't know. We haven't really touched any of this stuff in this game, but like, except for the, mage cabal that's watching us or whatever, like.
Oh, yeah. You're saying like other supernatural groups that are out there.
Right. We talked about, the vampire court in the city might be part of the web of pain, or, like stuff like that. Like,
True.
maybe non-conspiracy, creating deviant style groups could theoretically be connected up into for like mutual defense or something like that, or mutual usefulness.
Use of party rooms.
Provided they use Scotch tape. I'm sorry, masking tape.
Painter's tape.
Painter's tape.
Yeah. One true tape, guys. One true tape.
Yes.
All right. So next thing on that is, what do we name it?
Never again, no ice cream. Come on.
What do we name it?
Ice cream.
Ice cream now.
What was the question?
Bastion.
What would you name the conspiracy that you're creating?
Oh,
Nirvana.
Yeah, I know.
Reality.
Names are about 40% of everything that I do. 40% of all the time I spend as a creative is coming up with names for things.
What's the name of the city we live in again?
Denver.
Is it Boulder?
Or
We're in Denver.
We're in Denver.
Okay.
We're in Denver. You have been in Boulder a kind of time or two over this campaign, but that's not your base of operations.
We could go with something pretty standard like the Denver Collective or something like that.
Universal Bastion.
Universal Bastion.
UBAC for short.
UBAC.
We are the barrier keeping the universe alive. So
True.
Get out your thesaurus and start fishing around for some other words for an idea like that.
My words were the best words. There are no other words.
You're right, Marco. Your words are the best words.
Synonym for bastion?
Everything ages.
Citadel.
Everything ages.
Well, I do like the sanctuary idea too.
Yeah.
I don't want to rip
Ages.
off Canadian sci-fi, but
Why not?
Could we come up with a mixture of something like that and something like what Marco thought of?
Something like sanctuary and stronghold mixed together,
Yeah.
if there's a word for that.
Stronguary.
Estuary.
The Tower of Denver.
Sanctuary of the Chosen.
Sanctuary of the Broken.
Stronghold?
I mean, mixing that up a little bit, the Broken Sanctuary is a little bit more thematic.
That's not bad.
The Revengers.
Revenge o'clock.
I don't know. I kind of like the
Broken Bastion has alliteration.
It does.
I do like that. That's one of the nicknames for deviants, right?
Yep, it is.
I would sign on to that one.
Shattered Shakespeare.
Shattered what?
Shattered.
I thought you said sanctuary, and
I did.
He did.
Shattered
Yeah.
Sanctuary.
That's awesome.
Shattered sanctuary.
Yeah, I was told under no circumstances was I allowed to use shattered as a name for broken, because it's in British slang it means exhausted, sleepy, tired. And it's very commonly used only that in that context. So calling people shattered would be like, are you just saying they're tired? Tired all the time.
Very narrow, specific reason to not use a word.
It is, but that it made sense. But yeah, weird stuff you don't expect to. I was like, oh yeah, that's totally what we should use. And Dave's like, no, absolutely not. And here's why. I'm like, okay, that's fair.
There's Shattered Sanctuary, though. If we don't do the
Shattered Sanctuary.
Yeah, it's not alliteration.
It's not a sanctuary where it protects you. It's a sanctuary where it stabs you.
Yeah, right.
Shanked by the other reality.
Yes.
What are the other words for divergent? Oh, go ahead, Noel.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I do like Broken Bastion a lot. Is there anybody who doesn't want that?
I think it's fine.
I mean, it's not like you have to come up with literature and you're out the printing costs if you change the name later. So,
right.
Yep.
Alliteration.
At the moment, you have 6 dots to spend on attributes. Minimum is 5, minimum is 1, maximum is 5. You'll get 2 more when you get a third node.
Well, that means we need to be 1 in each.
And then you have 3 more after that to do whatever you want to do with.
I thought you said we had 6 dots.
6 total, yeah. And there are 3 attributes.
But we don't start at 1, we start at 0. So
Yeah, that's starting at 0, yeah.
Okay, there's only
6.
3 not
accounted for.
like the 9 or whatever that we have.
Yep.
let's do a 3 in the defensive one and and a 1 in the power one.
So 1, 2,
The other
3,
one?
power, finesse, resistance.
Finesse.
Yeah, because I think the route that that we're starting here is that we're on the, I wouldn't say we're on the back foot, but we're starting on the defensive in the sense that we're not attempting to project our will on the city. We're trying to survive.
Yeah, and
So
it is
then
a
we'd be-
lot more important to us that no one gets in and messes with the portal than it is that who we are gets out there.
It would be a 2 on the finesse bit.
I think so. Like I'm having a little difficulty
Yeah.
remembering the difference between what the power and finesse stat does.
Power is forceful. Finesse is subtle. Like power actions are things like sending a hit squad,
Yeah,
take someone out, or sending a bunch of devoted to like mess with someone. Whereas finesse is more, convincing, corrupting a judge to issue an arrest warrant for your enemies.
sure.
Well,
Okay.
maybe we should be a little higher power than finesse because we're a bunch of deviants.
Sure.
We can go mess with people.
Yeah, okay.
And I
Right
will-
now, all we have is a hit squad.
We're a hit squad,
Karen.
we're like trying to
A
be
hit
buddy
squad.
with another hit squad, and we're trying to fill our apartments with other hit squads.
What the other thing is something we could use our finesse for is to like sow confusion about what's happening and things like that. Like if the goal for the moment is to keep people off of us, we could just try to lock down information, and or put out a bunch of misinformation about what's happening, stuff like that. So like we could theoretically go either way, but I do like your point, Marco. I think that that's good.
Of how we've been so far, I mean, we are brute, not
We are a blunt instrument.
yeah.
Okay, so
We
2,
can
1,
have
3 then I
intention
think
to
is
become more finesseful in the future, but if it's just starting, then I think it would make more sense that we'd be like 3 defense, 2 power, 1 finesse.
The tank thinks we should go 1-1-4. Just have all of it in resilience.
the tank says that.
I don't really have a problem with that either, actually.
It is
Because
a little bit more limited in terms of actually doing things. Resistance gives you more hit points as an organization, but it doesn't really get rolled for anything.
does it assist us in rebuffing like other people's actions against us?
It isn't really, your standing has more of an impact on your resistance to other people unless you have an icon or other effect to complicate other conspiracies' actions against you.
Okay.
So what does resistance do then?
It basically gives you more hit points. as an
Oh,
organization.
so maybe that isn't as important as I was thinking it was for what we're trying to do.
So for a conspiracy, what happens if you run out of hit points? Is it that people leave, or is it?
It's initially it means that you have the ability to purge, like you can get rid of. I mean, you can get rid of some of your nodes or downgrade one of your attributes in order to like clear the damage. But you don't want to do that. The longer you can put that off, the better. Right now, one of Yanungagap's advantages and disadvantages is that they had a pretty good block of association to work with, basically hit points, but that is now filled with lethal and starting to roll and wrap into aggravated, and so now they have to do something pretty dire to clear the damage. But if you do the thing, you do a purge, it clears all of the damage, and basically it starts with a fresh health bar. So having a lot of association is really useful. because it means there's longer, you can sustain more trouble before you have to take drastic action to clear that damage. Healing damage can be done, but it's a lot harder, or it uses up your effort, and it's not usually the greatest use of your effort to just heal damage.
Okay.
well,
Yeah, maybe we should do more power.
Yeah, maybe we should do 3, 2, 1 instead.
With which one's 3 power?
2
Finesse.
manipulation, or 2 finesse, and one.
And one resistance. Okay. Means you're very vulnerable, but you can you'll be able to.
Well, we are very vulnerable.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay.
Besides, if we take damage, we can jettison Karen.
That's a great way.
Gotta get her a node first.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of nodes, we have some indication of. It sounds like Serendipitous Gardens itself is going to be hierarchical under the new regime. Is that
Yes.
accurate?
Absolutely.
And while Tamsin isn't the linchpin yet because of stuff, the plan is to make her the hierarchical linchpin when we're once she has the experience, basically.
Right.
I have to learn how to lynch pin first more effectively so I can lynch a higher pin.
And then you have your allied renegades, which is your other node. Would you characterize that as temporal?
I mean, that's the hit squad type, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that temporal is like it's not really a part, but you can make use of it when you need to.
Temporal means you have direct control over the node, and it's the people who work in it, and they know that they're part of the conspiracy, or at least they have some idea of that they're part of this structure. Exploitative means that you've infiltrated or subverted an existing organization, and there are people, you have agents in there that can get things done for you, but the average person working in that organization doesn't know that they're a cog in the wheel of a larger machine, at least not the machine of the conspiracy.
It's like how Gunga Gab was controlling the police,
Right.
or at least their part of it.
I thought there was something that, well, obviously I thought it was temporal, but maybe it has a different term, where it's not really like a part of the conspiracy, but it's something that is made use of and potentially frequently, but it's like separate. You don't have constant direct control.
The exploitative is the one where you don't have absolute control over the.
Is it just those two types of things?
The third type of node is a structural node, which is it's kind of the glue that holds the conspiracy together. It provides them critical resources, but doesn't actually take action out on the outside world in itself. Data management was a structural. It doesn't make it so that it doesn't create the deviants. It doesn't control the police. It doesn't move the people around, but it facilitates all of those things by providing those resources.
Are there any rules as to what we have to have in the conspiracy? Do we have to have like one of each or something?
No, the only rule is that your number of hierarchical nodes can't exceed your conspiracy standing, and that's just to keep it from getting completely ridiculous.
Sure.
I don't want 5. Standing 1 conspiracy probably shouldn't have 3 hierarchical nodes.
Makes sense. So yeah, I think temporal makes sense for them.
Yeah.
Is there a particular linchpin you think is appropriate for that group?
I mean, they have a leader already, right? Saeed?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Saeed was their leader.
He just
seemed
happened to be who we caught.
They did have a leader, but it was not.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
right. The leader was sending out people and staying
Yeah.
hidden.
Did he get killed though?
No,
Maybe he didn't.
I don't remember who it was though. I have the list of people in front of me that we know about, but
Yeah.
Might not be on that list.
I played him at one point, but I don't remember his name. In one of our vignettes. But I don't remember his name.
yeah, he's the one who took Dunk prisoner and was
Yeah.
interrogating him.
Gosh.
That was a long time ago.
Ugh. I skipped that scene when I was re-listening.
I mean, I don't think it's super important that we remember right this second.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically what we'll do is we'll let them choose their own leader. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna note leader of Renegades and leave it at that.
It's really not our goal to like be in control of them in the sense that, you know, of like putting somebody in charge of them. We want them to do what, you know, to partner up with us. And so we want to keep it a partnership rather than we're talking down to them.
Yeah.
We should see if they want to move back.
Well, yeah, I think that's a great idea. They don't have anywhere to go right now.
It's true.
Yeah. We're gonna have to figure out what appropriate rent would be, though.
They can resume their previous rent. They were all former inhabitants.
Yeah, but and see, that's the great thing about having Karen back is that we can farm all that shit out to her.
Yep.
That's association business.
It does become association business. No, that's right up association business. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And then the final thing is so moment of truth, who's going to be the devoted, or is it going to be more than one? I know Benji, or Noel, you said Benji seems like a reasonable one to be the devoted or serendipitous.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like we can definitely have more than one, but I am certainly the devoted for the building, considering my position.
Same. I'd be more the hit squad type guy though, maybe.
I'm not sure what you mean. Are you saying that you're going to be part of the Renegade node, or are you talking about?
No, just I would see me as being devoted to this cause.
Okay.
Conspiracy.
Yeah. I think, do we all qualify as devoted now since we're
You can
kind
do
of
it
forming
whenever you
members?
want. I mean,
Okay.
it's there's nothing that forces you to stay Renegade. And given the story flow, it would be completely reasonable for you to consider yourselves devoted at this point. Devoted in this context is really about building up instead of tearing something apart. When you found a conspiracy, you have to kind of at least somewhat let go of the focus on destroying. So you need at least some founding member has to be a devoted. It doesn't have to be everyone. The others can continue to focus on destroying, but at least one has to be actually interested in making sure the lights stay on.
I'm guessing
In
that's
Benji's case, literally.
I was like, wow, you couldn't actually have made the argument better.
Yeah. I don't think any of us are more about destroying than we are about building at this point, right? Or maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Depends on what. Like, yeah, I guess, I mean, in general, I could see going either way for me. So I don't know. Maybe I won't declare yet.
Yeah,
And nothing,
to some
nothing
extent,
requires it.
to some extent, it almost seems like Saul is the most focused on the kind of the external beating stuff up, which doesn't necessarily mean he couldn't be devoted or whatever. It just, if that's the yardstick. But like the only thing that's really kept Benji from kind of being the from kind of being a devoted style deviant has been that he didn't believe in what they were doing with the building, like
Yeah.
he couldn't sign up for that. But to some extent he's been on the building side, even if he hasn't been on the conspiracy side since the beginning.
So in summary, Benji is now considering himself devoted. Tamsin, are you devoted or are you remaining renegade?
Well, I mean, can I be a linchpin without being devoted?
You can, yes. I mean, it really, the main thing that it messes with or changes is the way you refresh willpower. You get little willpower back from, like small amounts of willpower back every time you interact with your loyalty touchstones when you're devoted, and you only get the big willpower gain if you basically risk yourself, take a significant risk to destroy a conviction touchstone. When you are renegade, you get little willpower for every time you. Basically the opposite. You get the. It doesn't affect the way instability works. Instability is still working towards your convictions touchstone as a minor, doing something significant like working toward or working within your loyalty touchstone is medium, and killing a conviction touchstone is a major. So that's not changing, but willpower impact is different.
I'd say that Tamsin would be devoted.
Okay.
That makes sense to me too.
Same with Steve.
Okay, so on your character sheets, you can add the devoted form.
Devoted form?
Yep.
Ah, look at that.
I'll stay renegade.
That's cool.
So where is that?
Right below
Here,
the
here,
player
here.
on the top corner.
First page, top right.
I realized we all answered at the same time.
Yep.
Wait,
I heard top right.
First page, top right, under player name. Mirror image of this.
yeah, oh shoot, it reverses it. Ah,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the only downside is that both of you folks who are guardians are no longer getting that benefit.
Oh.
Yeah,
We got
that's
conspiracy now.
That's
We are
I forgot I got races in the Guardian anyway.
but I think
Silly Guardians.
Benji is now technically a nemesis. Were you still higher on?
What does that mean? Oh, because I'm a backwards devoted now.
Yep, because you have more people you hate than people you love. So it's basically the same benefits that a guardian gets, except that you get it as long as your conviction is higher than your loyalty.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I forgot that I had morphed into that pretty early on. So
no, it's like I said, it's been a long journey.
I don't remember having that anything like that initially.
The guardian
Back when it
or
started when it was 3 and 2 or 2 and 3, however you want to think about.
well, when you're a renegade, you can't be a nemesis. That's
okay.
Yeah, Steve pretty early on eliminated, blew away his conviction touchstones in one way or the other, and got a whole bunch of loyalty touchstones. He's been a guardian for like 2/3 of his chronicle.
I remember that. So
Yep.
okay, it's because of he was renegade at the point at that moment, and then
Yeah.
now that Noel or Benji is a devoted, but he's got more conviction. That's where he makes. I got you.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a devoted that's got touchstones like a renegade.
Yep. He's got an axe to grind.
So now it's going to be hard for him to hold on to instability the same way it was hard for me to hold on to it.
Yep, exactly. So, because you get heal a minor of every chapter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that little bit of bookkeeping is done. But as far as assignments, you are all being assigned to Serendipitous Gardens as that doesn't necessarily mean you're linchpins universally. What assignment just means is just for the purposes of there's certain mechanics that interact with it that care about what you're assigned to. But it's not likely to be relevant in a conspiracy of 2 nodes or even really of 3.
Just have to keep getting nodes.
Just have to keep on getting nodes.
So I have a question. How is it increasing standing that gives us the ability to have an icon, or is that acquired in some other manner?
Once you are a official conspiracy, you can spend 3 effort to get your first icon.
Okay.
Getting icons once you already have the minimum for your standing is more expensive. But when it's when you're below what you normally would have, it's 3.
Okay. Interesting. So building an icon while you're new is easier.
Well, building an icon when your conspiracy is too big for the number of icons you have is easy.
I see. I get it.
Because when normally a standing 1 conspiracy has 1 icon as a starting conspiracy, getting it to have a second one is more expensive, and getting it to have more than 2 is really expensive unless you can raise the standing to 3.
Oh, okay. So I guess I asked the question past the question that I was really intending to ask, which is, do we get an icon?
Not yet. You have to pay for it.
Okay. All right.
But 3 effort is doable. One of the elements that comes into play is that you have objectives as a group. They're kind of like group long-term aspirations. Deviants don't have long-term aspirations, but devoted, by subsuming their will to a conspiracy, can get objectives which serve much the same purpose. In the sense that, but instead of it being something where you just by pursuing it, you get beats the way you do with long-term aspiration. Every time you get beats for other things, mostly by having your scars bite you, you also earn conspiracy beats, which go into every, normally it's every 5 conspiracy beats equals a conspiracy experience. And you can use the experiences to basically make effort. So each point of experience you earn is a point of effort that you can spend without the conspiracy having to spend anything. And you decide how it's spent.
Interesting.
Make sense? So remember when we were playing around with Exalted and the idea of projects, and I was like, wow, this is super exciting and cool. I just stole that mechanic basically. So when you have, as you work toward these objectives and bad stuff happens on the road to completing those objectives, that makes it so that eventually you achieve the objective. Or that's they achieve the objective. You gain power that makes it easier to achieve the conspiracy's overall objectives. But yeah, if you complete an objective, it gets you points, but also you get to either pick another objective. Well, usually the GM picks a new objective for you. But if you have certain, if you're a linchpin, or if you have a member who's a linchpin, you might be able to have more control of what that objective turns out to be, as long as it fits that. Remember how I was talking to the principle, or a virtue, or your vice, or the conspiracy's vice, rather.
Okay.
And I can share that with you if you want to read more about it. But I'll leave it there for now so that we don't bog down play too much.
Sure. Okay, good. The reason I was asking is because I have a really good idea for an icon and I don't want to forget.
Oh, okay. I'll jot it down.
Well, so I was thinking, like, if we want Serendipitous Gardens to be, like a place that the deviants can go, maybe we could, fiddle with the Serendipitous Gardens to like ease some form of penalty of being a deviant.
Like a deviant spa almost.
Right. To like have it, like, I don't know, function as a touchstone for people, or something to that, to the extent that it would be like an inherent incentive for deviants to come.
I think I have just the thing, mechanically, and then
sure
with the story. Give me 1 second. Editing. Okay. There is a specific type of devoted project that's called Reprogram Devoted. And what it does is the conspiracy attempts to modify one of its devoted variations or scars. And normally the exceptional success, usually you can like take a penalty on the roll to like get a special effect on a project.
Okay.
But this one is like however much complexity you spend, you just roll that dice pool. If it succeeds, you can replace a scar or variation with another one of equal magnitude. So it just lets you like swap out like someone's subliminal suggestion or subliminal conditioning. So you can change what it causes or what causes it. You can change someone's amnesia into, I don't know, nightmares. Pick a random example. Yeah. As long as the total adds up. But there's an exceptional success effect. If you achieve an exceptional success on this, then you may actually reduce the magnitude of a scar by 1. But it'll also downgrade any variations that are entangled that would need to be. So if it causes those variations to be illegal, you have to downgrade the variations to balance that out. It doesn't completely eliminate the divergence. Nothing can. Outside of like major plot arc fun, but something that maybe makes it so that something that interacts with that mechanic might be a way of doing that.
Sure, like once per story while living here, like somebody could, try to change or mitigate one of their scars or something. I'm just trying to figure out how.
Well, here's
I was trying to think of something that was a little bit more passive than
rather than something active.
Let's spend all our effort on trying to fix people's scars they don't like, like.
Okay, no, that makes sense. It's just it works as a jumping off point.
Sure.
Okay.
I was thinking something to the effect of like, as long as you're here, as long as you live here and spend X amount of your time like in the building or whatever, like it automatically treats you like a guardian, or I'm just spinning here.
Let's move away from what I was using and let's try something completely. I'll go with different tack. If you're familiar with the chimeric adaptation that lets you basically ignore most of the mechanical effects of a scar for a scene.
Sure.
Maybe it's something where if you devoted who live in the building spend, at least, let's say 40 hours a week in the building.
Sure.
Can use that to suppress one or more scars for a scene, each chapter.
Sure.
So it just basically reduces it down to one, kind of like the chimeric adaptation. That
or
way,
like,
it doesn't.
What if they could just do that while they're in the building?
Okay.
Like while you're in the building, you can shut off a scar with the entangled variation and live normally.
Oh wow, no,
That seems dangerous for me.
Well, sure.
It's optional.
Not that it happens automatically, just that you can. Though, I mean, I guess if you'd want to remember, you could.
I could. I could write a book, and then I could read it as someone who has no idea what's about to happen.
But like for people that have like one horrific debilitating scar or whatever, they could have some relief from that as long as as long as they're in the building physically.
So devoted who spend at least 40 hours a week in serendipitous gardens may reduce the magnitude of one scar to 1.
Oh, sure.
While
Yeah.
in the building, not
While in the building. Last at least until the end of the scene. It can be extended, but basically can apply in any given, there's no limit on how many scenes per chapter.
Yeah, I was thinking of it as kind of a more a flavor thing. Like they can, take their scar off when they come home. Like
yeah.
I do like the lowering it to 1 instead of suppressing it entirely.
Yeah, because it's not like you suddenly magically lose all of the disadvantages. Like it's still there, but it's the whole Frankenstein's monster somehow manages to befriend a small child.
Right.
All of that grotesque experience just doesn't apply here.
Yeah.
Reduce the variation to 1 also.
I think that is reasonable given that that's a really powerful effect.
Yeah. It's just that it just seems like, having something to, to offer people.
Yeah.
To offer deviants as like a, you should come home,
Yeah. Definitely puts the third principle into very strong effect.
Right. If we do think it's too powerful not to have some kind of drawback, we might consider amping up the level of harm to non-deviants that reside within the building.
Well, hopefully nobody wants to marry somebody who isn't already.
That seems anti our purpose. Like
I just thought I'd throw that out there in case we wanted to complicate things unnecessarily.
I mean, that is our jam.
Complicated things unnecessarily is your jam, but we're also trying to wrap things up.
Yeah, right.
Eventually.
Right.
So maybe not make it too hard. And honestly, like it's more a flavor thing than anything. I mean, how do
you're gonna
Steve's probably not going to abandon his amnesia too much. Although I don't know, that wouldn't be, it wouldn't be like you magically remember everything. It's just that it doesn't have the, like, it's constantly hosing you these revelations about your past.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, that would make more sense.
yeah, that's why it works
remembering
that way.
everything.
Yeah, that's why it works the way that it does, is that it's intended to mean that all of the mechanical forced disadvantages of the scar are suppressed. You can still play it up. It doesn't mean that it's gone. It's just that it doesn't inconvenience you right now.
Cool.
Okay, that sounds like a fun one.
Yeah.
All right. So unless we have other ideas about objectives that you want to wrest from my fingers, these are the ones I would propose as your initial 2 objectives. The first objective would be to keep the deal with Karen, which is to make her the linchpin of the association, and bringing the association into your conspiracy,
Right.
and assimilating that before Gununga Gap has an opportunity to do so or to purge it. And the second objective I would propose is preserve Zechariah. Again, sort of a two-edged piece of it. On one hand, yeah, it's true. On one hand, it's a loyalty touchstone for half of you. So he's important. But also, he has that law firm that could make another good node for your conspiracy.
True.
So, and let's face it, you're going to be dealing with some of this nonsense, regardless of whether it's an official objective or not.
Right.
And we need demons to eat all the apartment funk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You do need
The
demons
stuff,
to eat
the stuff
apartment
from
building.
my apartment.
Yeah, well, all of it does flow. It's just that yours is the worst.
Sure.
I did think of one thing from what you said. That is the idea that Gununga Gap could attempt to purge the association might be a really, really good argument for them joining us. Because they don't have the building anymore. They don't have any use for the association.
Getting to that. So we didn't have a vignette last week. And as I was planning this session, I realized that there's a really good opportunity for a vignette in this scene, which is the remaining linchpins checking in to discuss the incident at data management shortly after it occurred. Basically, they emailed everyone, like, oh my gosh, this is a thing that happened. We really need to talk. And they forgot not to CC Tamsin the first time on the initial email. And so you know for a fact that Jared was CC'd on that email, and you have access to all his stuff. So
Right.
you actually not only get to have this vignette, but you are aware of the events that are occurring within it, and you can be Jared if you choose a little later on. We're gonna have the email conversation first. So characters that are involved in this, Jared Cuckwalder Sr., who is deeply concerned about the PR aspect of the situation because his legacy is at stake. And he, clearly wants Jared to weigh in on this before anyone makes any strong decisions. Jared's his groomed heir. So Jared Cuckwalder Sr., yep, he's the linchpin of real estate. Sylvia Blanchard, the linchpin of research. She is deeply concerned about the combined loss of data management and Tina, who was the lobbyist person that died horribly in front of Tamsin's eyes, pretty much, which was essential to her node's smooth operation. She is mostly willing to go along with the consensus opinion regarding staff reassignments because they have to purge something. But she definitely wants Jared to weigh in before making any final decisions.
Big Jared or little Jared?
Little Jared. Yeah, Jared Cuckwalder Jr. is this hierarchical linchpin, and he is AWOL at the moment. And the only people who know where he is are you, or that he's even missing. There's Sergeant Donald Tells, who's the linchpin of the local police, or in your linchpin within the local police. Shares Sylvia's concerns, but is also worried about a sudden flurry of activity among the Union brass, increasing law enforcement activity near Serendipitous Gardens, where there's some movement toward increasing law enforcement activity near your building. Where the hell is Jared? Jr., of course. There's Brian Briggs, who is the linchpin of the association, who is, to say the least, completely freaked out about the subversion of Serendipitous Gardens. We still own it, so we need to fire them all before they can do any further damage. He's desperately trying to convince everyone that his node is still relevant, even without the condo. And it's pretty clear to everyone else that it is not. But he's really good buddies with Jared Jr., so before we make any hasty staffing decisions, we should get Jared's input, because he's pretty sure that may be the only thing that keeps him from being purged. And then finally, Heather Westfall, who's in charge of arbitration, and her motives are she wants to restore order to the situation and take charge as long as Jared Jr.'s not around. She recognizes that she and her node have a huge target on its collective back because all the renegades Gananga has been pressuring know that she's holding their loved ones in her black site. So she has plans, but she's kind of in CYA mode because she knows that the people who just got done blowing up data management are probably coming for her next. So who would like to be whom?
I can be the police dude.
Okay.
I'll take Briggs, the head of the association.
Okay. Let me make a note real quick. Sorry.
I'll be Big Jared.
Big J.
I guess that leaves what's her butt, the black box person.
Black site.
and Little Jared.
Well, little Jared isn't there yet. He's not involved in this series of emails, these conversations, because
He's in a hole.
he's in a hole.
Yeah, I
You're
thought
gonna
I thought we were going to be playing Little Jared.
be eventually, but not until later.
Okay.
We'll pretend to be little Jared.
He'll get played all right.
Ah.
Get played. Played good
Mark is Donald.
with our competence.
I, as the true and real little Jared, endorse Tamsin Bristow to be queen of everything.
Also, it's me.
Yes, Jared.
Is Brian.
Inappropriate remark.
The
Inappropriate remark.
creepy one,
Bro, dude.
not the other one. Also good.
Sol. Bro. Buzzword. Inappropriate remark.
And
Oh, good. That's actually 5 and 5. Awesome. So I get to be Sylvia. Okay.
How old is Big Jared?
60.
Is he still
He's been talking about retiring for years, but
okay?
he just hasn't
But
gotten
he's-
around to it.
I see. All right.
I'm not named Sylvia. That's the character I'm playing. Okay. All right. Let's begin.
Had no good acoustics.
No.
Hey, just a reminder, we probably shouldn't CC Tamsin anymore. Remember? She's definitely gone rogue.
Seems
What?
you guys,
I'm playing Sylvia, by the way. I'm playing the research person.
It
Yeah,
seems to
yeah,
have
that's a good
important
idea.
number of rogues.
Who called this meeting? Where's Jared?
I don't know.
Good question. Where is Jared?
He emailed me about something, I don't know, a bit ago, but I haven't seen anything from him since.
Is it possible that he was involved in what happened in the data management division?
No way. He's still in charge of, you know, what's happening over at Serendipitous Gardens for sure.
Really? Because it's pretty suspicious that he hasn't.
Yeah, he disappeared at almost the exact same time.
Isn't that Serendipitous Gardens sort of like the hub of all the bad stuff that you guys are dealing with?
No, not bad stuff at all. That's where, you know, that's where all the magic happens, you know?
Well, it seems pretty bad by the amount of enforcement that keeps getting called out there for various mysterious happenings.
Well, that's because we've been under attack, you know. Those, you know, pesky renegades that got away. I mean, if Dunk had been doing his job right, everything would be fine.
Well, Dunk is no longer in a position to do his job at all.
Well, he didn't do it very well. He was supposed to have a number of assets delivered to me so that we could try and get all of those rogues under control. And now, well, the ones that we have may have to be used to remind people of where the line is.
So what did Jared email you about? He hasn't told us anything.
I don't know, something. Some like plan for something. I deleted it. It wasn't even important about anything.
If Junior is in with these other rebels, what's your method of control?
Now, hang on a minute. That's ridiculous.
What if?
No, you know.
He's hanging out at this Gardens condo. He's gone missing when all this stuff has gone down. There's this hit on what you call data management that we were trying to cover up for you best we can. But I mean, that was a right out shootout.
Yeah, it was a shootout. And that, you know, normally that would be Dunk's territory, but he's obviously not really available anymore. So
all I'm saying is, what if Junior's with him? Your control methods obviously aren't working.
Hey,
no, I'm just saying you're trying to deflect a problem that you're the only one who can clean up. You know, you're the only one with the guns over there. We lost our muscle, so
Maybe what's needed is some incentives to get Jared under control.
Jared is under control. It's just a question of where he is.
Well, if we don't know where he is, he's not under control.
Why don't we
still on our
We need
side.
to address the immediate problem at hand, though. Right now, we've lost. She is clearly like checking data and running report. We've lost a lot of staff, both critical and non-critical staff. We're thin on the ground. Resources are just stretched too thin, and we need to consolidate. I mean, the organization is just collapsing around us. And even if Jared Jr. were to step in tomorrow or write in this email chain, I'm not convinced that he can just pick up the pieces and move on. We have to take action, and we have to take action soon. And I think it comes down to reassigning human resources.
Yeah, reassigning sounds great.
Maybe you should come under my umbrella since you seem to have lost your largest asset. We can.
No. I direct too much of this traffic. As soon as Jared Jr. is in charge again, he's just going to link up with me with research again, and we're going to go on like nothing ever happened. My organization is tied to the police. I'm tied to the association. I'm tied to you, to your group, and
Exactly.
you can't do anything without my support. Now, as far as I'm concerned, everyone except Jared Sr. here is expendable as an organizational leader. I'm sure we could find a more useful or an opportunity for you in the future, but I think one of you has to step down, or things are going to only get uglier. We can't take any more of these attacks.
If we've lost Serendipitous Gardens, I think it's pretty obvious where the weak link is right now.
Briggs
Yeah.
is looking around very nervously.
Nobody's saying we've lost Serendipitous Gardens.
Yeah. Nobody's saying that. We can get it back.
How?
Well, we just need to. Don't you have more of their leverage?
I have some leverage.
Use it.
Doesn't seem to be working, is what I'm saying.
We don't have leverage for everybody yet.
What about the new Renegades? You didn't get them yet? That's your job.
Well, Dunk was supposed to be in charge of rounding some of that up, but apparently he had other things to do.
And he did.
Yes, thus the other things to do that were less important than getting things under control, apparently.
Look, we can't do any of this without Serendipitous Gardens. And once we reclaim it, we're going to need to lock down on it harder than we've ever have. You're going to need us.
Well, I think that you've made an excellent point that my department, my group is really the only one who has any sort of hope of bringing that back.
I can agree with that.
So maybe you should come in under my umbrella and we'll absorb the extra resources that are no longer needed from your group so that I can have full strength and
No. We need all our resources. We're going to need more resources once we get Serendipitous Gardens back.
Let's not go crazy here, okay? Why don't I have my people mock something up in terms of some analysis on who brings the most value add to the organization going forward. We can make some decisions at that point in time. Hopefully Jared will be joining us for that.
And at this point, Jared can enter the conversation.
I will note that you should probably keep me over here at the police, because if I'm gone and you kind of loosen that grip, I'm gonna assume that the demon hunters are gonna start taking more of the police action from you. It may
Thank God, Jared, is that you?
Oh no, that was the police contact, but
yeah.
Oh no, I thought you said that Jared joined the conversation.
At this point, Jared can join the conversation. I'm exiting this this vignette, and you guys can of course continue to play both characters as long as we're clear on which one we're playing at any given time, because it can get confusing.
So who wants to play Jared?
Nobody.
Jared Jr.
is this
Nobody.
Well, rather than playing it as a vignette, let's as a group you can decide as a group, and we can come back and talk about what you're having Jared Jr. tell them to do, or how he thinks that they should resolve this.
So one quick question: Who actually is Jared Jr.? Like, in the sense that, like, is this an audio call and we're
No, this is a series of
voice?
emails. These are a series of emails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be presented as conversation because it's a little hard
Sure.
to do otherwise. But I didn't want to make this a true epistolatory piece. But Yeah,
well,
this was a
the thing
series of
is if it is a video call, we can still do it
it's true.
Yes.
because Abby can do it.
Mhm.
So can I.
Oh,
Oh,
so
yeah.
could you. Shit, I think we should.
But I mean, I do need to have someone talking in my ear as far as what we want them to do.
You have trash talk.
We have trash talk, yeah.
I think we should scare the shit out of Briggs.
Yeah.
And have Jared side with well, we don't really need the association anymore. Blah blah blah.
Here's sort of the weird complication here. Okay, let me let you know kind of what sort of the issue that you run into here is. You want Karen to take over the association.
Right.
Mhm.
So if you can, you kind of have to make it so that Ganunga Gap doesn't purge it right now, but you do want it to be able to be acquired by you. Because right now it's part of it's part of an orphaned cluster. So it's easy for you to take it over.
Sure.
And if you take it over, you can swap out the linchpin, but you've got to make sure that they don't purge it quite yet.
So would supporting Jared Senior's let's run some numbers and reevaluate and do that, like accomplish the goal in the sense that we need to.
It might buy you a couple days, but it's not going to buy you a lot of time.
Right, exactly.
Kind of need to pick a victim and go. And it's probably going to have to be either the association, which you don't want, the police, which is going to be challenging, or the black site, the arbitration. But what could you do to make sure that arbitration is the one that gets cut? There just seems so valuable, right?
Not if they don't have any
Deviants to control.
Well, if they don't have
need
any
to do a
hostages.
jailbreak.
So if we do a jailbreak, then they are worthless.
Mm-hmm. Especially because there's no muscle to round them back up.
And also because depending on how you do it, you could attract unwanted attention and it could become a liability that they have these prisoners.
Right.
So what I'm hearing is that we need to live stream this break.
Something like that.
Well, they do already have cameras.
Yeah. I mean, ostensibly they do. We don't have access to those. So we have to assume that the other groups don't have access to them either. However, if we're doing a jailbreak, we could certainly make, stealing those records apart, or, opening them up to the rest of the conspiracy, like a part of it.
Yeah, making their private public.
Right.
Maybe that could be an extra Benji goal of electronics stuff.
But that doesn't solve our immediate problem of we need them to ignore the uselessness of the association right now.
So we back the senior plan of
Doing some analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah, each sort of node has presented like, well, here's why I'm important. So he's got to take into consideration, say, we got to cut something, but let's figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Run some budget numbers. I mean, it's a 3-day.
Cook the numbers so that there's a tie. Oh no, what do we do now?
Well, they're sure glad to hear from Jared, that's for sure. So he gets his dad to run some analysis, which is meant to buy a few days for you to make arbitration a liability instead of an asset. Is that accurate?
Well,
Yes.
Or at
All
least
right.
the least
Let's do
beneficial.
Basically, throw sand in the gears as much as possible.
Mhm.
But considering that
Oh,
Jared,
I thought we were going with the smoking crater method that we usually use.
Well, that's part of it. I mean, if it's
Yeah.
a smoking crater, it's also not an asset.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we have a lot of ways to accomplish our goal.
a smoking crater is a great place for a mass grave.
You people.
Hey, they've had trouble finding a good spot for that lately.
For mass graves?
Yeah.
Since the last one got leaked.
Running out of acreage in the Denver metro area to have mass graves. All right. So
To the garage.
to the
You
garage.
know what else we should do? We should not now, but eventually we should start playing up the we should make it look like Jared's losing his grip on things.
Big
So
Jared
that
or little Jared?
little Jared. So that when he does actually go missing again, it could just be that he's gone nuts instead of it necessarily being something suspicious, which, to be fair, is exactly what happened.
We could just change the time of when he ran off to the other reality.
Yep.
All right. So right now we're at Saturday morning. It must have been a pretty important meeting that they were sending emails frantically on a Saturday morning, but they were. You have an address for the black site, but you haven't really given it a chance to case it or like really even do a lot of research on it yet.
Well, that should be our next.
Well, I don't think I had a
Definitely.
chance to really tell people where it was because Zechariah ran in being all like, I'm being
Oh,
chased.
that's true. He's in
It's
jail.
true. Zechariah's not in jail.
No, he
I
is.
got
him out.
Solomon.
I
Oh,
got out.
Saul. Yeah, he's out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Karen
He's out,
sprung
okay.
him.
We made a deal with the devil, remember?
You did.
Yeah, I just didn't realize that was done already.
Yeah, he probably had his didn't sleep really great, worrying about being.
I was unconscious.
Well, you were unconscious, and then when you woke up from unconsciousness, I'm sure you didn't have a great night's sleep then either. But all that trauma.
Glowing.
Quick question:
Hmm?
Has Karen ever been to the black site?
No,
Okay.
that was a very, very tightly held secret.
Okay.
Dunk really was the only one that might maybe have had some idea where it was, and clearly he had some idea.
Right.
But no one else had need to know. And I think it was probably a matter of the volume got to the point where putting people in the equivalent of a dead drop, so that she could haul them off to the real black site was getting tedious, and she got tired of it.
Right. Plus, when you have these devoted that you have all kinds of leverage over, like what's the chance he's going to betray you, right?
Yeah, I know. I mean, you figure that maybe she has some leverage on him too.
Well, can Cosmo reach out?
To who?
To
Yeah.
Well, I arrived.
Oh,
I
you
thought-
We'll have him arrive. It's no big deal.
yeah, we ended and Zechariah was running into the garage being like, Mallory Draconis are shooting me or whatever.
Well, that Malio Draconis are right on my tail.
Right. It made it the impression that they're like right there.
He did give that impression. It's true.
So that's probably what we need to figure out. Are they?
Right. Let's start there.
Are we being attacked?
No, there's actually not. There's not a big like a big army of cultists or whatever coming screaming with knives out toward your building.
Oh, okay.
No, it's nothing of that nature, for a couple different reasons. One, I mean they don't have infinite staff. I mean they're a conspiracy, but you know they're not an enormous conspiracy. They're a little bigger than around the size, or maybe a little bigger than Gananga Gap was at its height. It's obviously not at its height anymore. But you know they don't have unlimited staff. Two, that's really not their preferred method of approaching things, especially since they have police presence. So they instead, you just notice that there seem to be a lot more cops patrolling nearby. You get the sense that maybe he's being staked out, or at least prevented from leaving. And third, and in character, you're not aware of this, but I'll let you know out of character. You are familiar with the concept of going loud for demons.
Yes.
If you are a conspiracy of mostly bog standard mortals, you probably don't want to pick a fight with a demon where it thinks its only chance is to go burn one of its covers and like turn into its true form and murder as many of you as possible. Because as many of them as possible is probably all of you. So it's not something where they're just going to like send all of their resources at one target right away. They will probably gather up and like prepare and plan and find the right moment to attack. And Zechariah, I think, has, after it's clear that they're not charging into the building, will probably let on a little bit without talking about going loud specifically, but saying, you know, mortals going after one of my kind is usually a bad idea, especially when we got infrastructure behind us, like I do.
All right. So in that case, I punch him in the shoulder and say, "We told you, but you said it was no big deal."
I didn't think it was a big deal. They usually don't even like mess around with you. Me.
We told you there was demon hunters, and you said, "God damn it."
I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, I'm sure they'll be bad. You know, it eventually will. I mean, I don't know. I just hope they don't have any like angel allies or anything. That would be a problem.
Any what?
Allies with angels.
Oh.
Allies who are angels. Like,
that's a thing they sometimes have.
Yeah, they're hunter angels out there.
Like Gene.
Oh no, Gene was totally just a guardian.
No, the other Gene.
Oh no, he's also just a guardian.
What?
Wait,
Yeah.
Just a guardian?
Yes. Well, shield. I mean, like there are some loud shields, some not very subtle shields, but shields mostly like protect places or people sometimes, most of the places. But
now I'm
no,
really confused.
well, their hunter angels are built to destroy. They're destroyers. They could like raise a building pretty easily, depending on the power of it and how much subtlety the God Machine requires. So mostly the reason that this building is kind of safe is the God Machine doesn't dare destroy it because it would, destroy the world.
Hey,
That
hang
would be
on
very
for a
awkward for
second.
plans. Yes.
Hang on. Stop talking for a minute. I walk over and open up a panel. We're all in the garage right now, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I open up a panel, pull out a big set of wire cutters, and cut a big thick wire in the wall, and it makes a whole bunch of sparks and shoots out a bunch of shoots out a bunch from the wall, and looks like it stops something. I was like, okay, keep talking. That was the security feed. I just realized that we hadn't stopped that yet.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
okay. Don't we need that later?
No, I mean like the security feed that lets them watch us. The one that goes out of the building.
Okay.
I thought you basically just, that was all, most of that was wiped when you converted to the 70s stuff, except for what you were creating. Did you rebuild it?
Oh, I thought they still had surveillance on us here.
They do have some surveillance, but it's a lot. It's very, very limited now because of, 70s technology.
Okay, well that's what I
Probably
cut.
why it's hard
Okay.
wired.
There's
That's
still
probably true.
security cameras, like even old school ones,
Yeah,
somewhere
that's
in the
true.
building. So
Okay.
Well,
we can still see it here. That was just the one that goes out of the building.
Okay.
okay.
Right. Well, I found out the black site location. I think I told you guys, or I'll tell you guys. I don't remember. Did I tell you guys?
Where?
Blah blah.
Excuse me. Map app out.
Yep. It looks like it's a warehouse, like the Google satellite view. It makes it look like it has like probably a barbed wire fence around it. And it's on a rail line. Like it's there's how like if you go into like a warehouse area, they often have like a couple different lines that go directly into the buildings. It has one of those that go into the warehouse.
Hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and suggest that maybe Benji comes this time.
Yep.
Benji is apparently the glue that holds us together. Also, we might need those wire cutters to get through the fence.
Yes.
He does have a history of having the right tool for the job,
It's almost like a thing.
even if sometimes that tool is soul. I had to pick someone. You just were the easiest target. Well, arguably, Tamsin is a bigger tool than you are.
Tamsin's going to be our boss here in a minute. So
So I know you all want to, for Tamsin, you want to just get up and go, but we should actually surveil this place now that we know where it is.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
seems like a great idea.
Let's surveil and then let's go.
I mean, I don't have my gun on me or anything like that. I was just saying we
Oh,
should go
well,
take a
then
look.
here, take your gun.
Hold on.
I should take my gun?
Oh,
I thought-
I am going to go grab my gun.
All right. As you are going to your condo, you have to walk by the reception desk where Abby is. And Abby's like, "Can I talk to you for a minute, Tamsin?
Sure.
In your office?"
Sure.
That's where there were never any security cameras. I just wanted to let you know, I heard about what happened at data management, and I know that you and your friends have gone rogue. And so I think you're going to be my boss, and I'm okay with that. So if you need something from me, it's okay. It's okay to tell me what to do.
Well, I would prefer not to abuse our working relationship or our friendship in such a manner.
Well,
I
you
at
don't,
least
you don't have to.
way.
No, yeah, you don't have to do the special way. I understand why Steve did what he did, and while that was
Really sorry.
unpleasant, I don't know. What do you think Steve thinks of me?
Steve can be a difficult person to figure out in terms of true feelings sometimes. Hold on. I'm trying to decide if Tamsin thinks that Steve likes Abby.
That's a really tough question. I can't answer that one.
do you have the would be
Can-
wits plus human ken.
Wouldn't that be
Empathy.
empathy?
I guess.
Human again.
Yeah, I think wits plus empathy would probably not be a bad thing. And then you can ask Jake, because I have no idea.
All right. Well, first, let's see if I get an accurate idea of the. Hold on. Well, that's 2.
Okay.
Oh, I'm responding to this.
Yeah, it's your question. It was a question for
yeah.
your character.
I mean, he certainly seems to enjoy being around her.
I don't get any sense on whether it's. Here's
You
a person.
You also know he has 5 previous wives that he
Oh.
doesn't remember, so.
Hold on. I just want to know what I know. I'm
Okay.
not going to endorse this.
Yeah.
I just want to know just how.
In
I have an
fairness,
idea.
one of those wives wasn't real, and one of them
wasn't
he
real?
only married
One
so that he could
wasn't real?
murder her. Yeah.
I don't think I know that one of them isn't real.
Oh no, was that was the one we went to visit, wasn't it?
The one. Well, there was the one that you were basically only there to horribly. That you were bait, and then you were supposed to help get basically get not murdered.
Yeah.
Basically, you were trying to bait her into trying to steal your soul. So that was not really that could be argued it was a sham wedding.
Yeah.
But wife number 5 was totally illusory. It was a setup that the Guardians of the Veil set up to kind of make sure that you had a retirement fund when they had to put you out of pasture because your memory was Swiss cheese and you didn't want to kill anymore.
Okay.
Or
So
you
I
didn't
only
want to
married-
be your original Steve. So you only married 3 of them.
Okay.
Really. I mean, well, you married 4 of them, but only cared for 3 of them.
Okay.
All right.
That's still complicated.
It
Uh,
is.
I guess I'll put it this way. Steve's a great friend. He has a pretty he has some flags in his romantic past though. So I would go caution if that's where you're looking.
Well, I kind of creeped on his social media stuff a little bit. I know I'd be number 6. I'm mostly okay with that. I mean, not like that's gonna happen right now or anything. Just like I'm just saying that the fact that he's been married a few times isn't a deal breaker for me.
Well, I mean,
And it's not like he's gotten divorced a bunch of times. I mean, other than the one person, but like who's now in a mental institution. But,
yeah, I kind of met her. She was.
But it's just like his life is full of tragedy, and I don't know that I want to add to that, but I kind of want to be a part of that. Not the tragedy of the story. I mean,
this would be a great conversation for a little bit later.
It's like being in Dragon Age or Mass Effect, and all of a sudden everyone wants to talk about their feelings, and all you want to do is go beat the boss.
Well, maybe I'll see if I can add her to party.
One more dungeon, then we'll talk.
They have your sister, right? Would things change if they didn't have your sister?
It would be peace of mind that I don't have now. Like, working with you is not always safe. If Gunungagat thinks I've turned against them. So getting rid of that leverage would be It would be a weight off my mind.
How much do you trust yourself in an ability to keep a secret?
I wish I could say I did, but I know my vulnerabilities, and I've noticed that I'm missing some time here and there these days, ever since I was abducted by the Renegades. So I think, is something else happening? Have you noticed me behaving suspiciously at all?
Occasionally, I'm not sure what's you and what's a ghost.
A ghost?
A Karen ghost?
A Karen ghost?
We may have made a deal with her.
You
Or we may have made a deal
with
with
Karen's ghost?
Well, or she may be you. I'm not sure which.
I'm possessed by Karen's ghost?
We haven't ruled it out, but we aren't saying that's the only option.
Haven't we a little bit?
Hold on. Well, sorry.
We have Karen's story, but we don't know if it's true.
Yeah, well, but last session specifically, you went to confirm that she and Karen were both in different places, so.
Well, yes, but that doesn't mean that Karen's ghost can't be possessing her at different times.
That's
And
true.
it can't mean that Karen's ghost has just decided to possess her and has figured out how to manifest away from her.
That's true.
She's also missing time, and we don't know what that means.
I do.
Plus, I know nothing about occult, so this seems like a perfectly plausible explanation to me.
Do you think she's still loyal to Ganungagap? Because if she could use me to betray you, I don't know that I trust myself even without the name thing. Why? How? Nobody. I just don't deserve any trust.
Abby, I'm holding her hands. Right now, I trust you to hold down the fort while we do something very important. And that's all I'm going to say right now for your own peace of mind.
Okay.
Not because I don't trust you. It's because I don't trust Karen. Does that make sense?
Yes. Especially if I'm possessed by Karen's ghost.
Well,
Do you think she can? Do you think she can still command me as a ghost?
Oh God.
It's way worse than that, but she doesn't know that.
I really hope not, because you deserve to be your own person, in control of yourself as much as you can.
Oh shit. If we manage to pull this off, she can
turn Karen off.
Yeah. Or she could turn the ability to be commanded off.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is that I'm going to try and make life as good for you as it can possibly be.
Okay.
But in the meantime, your part in this is to keep Serendipitous Gardens safe from whomever you can. All right. I'll be back, I hope.
All right.
I hand Karen a burner cell.
All right.
and say, there's an open line between this phone and the one and one that we've stuck in the in my office downstairs. I've welded my office door shut.
Do you mean Abby?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What
What
did I say?
You said Karen.
No,
Which
no.
is not entirely inaccurate, but not something
Yes.
you should probably tell her at least.
Yeah, no. You need to tell us if you hear it open, if you hear the door open.
The portal?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
I'm really nervous about leaving it. Well, Jared might be on his way back, but we'll be back soon, okay?
Okay.
All right. Tamsin's got a gun.
So does Steve.
Yeah, but your meter doesn't fit the song.
That's true. Do Steve has got a gun.
Steve has got a gun.
There you go.
All right. Well, I guess we go surveil now.
All right.
Oh, God.
How are we getting there? And who are we taking? And what, for that matter?
And are we going to try and make a deal with the other group?
Do they?
Oh.
They don't have a. Do they have a stake here?
They're
Yeah.
probably getting people out of the place.
Don't they have some of their people? Not all of them, but some of them.
Oh,
Maybe.
did they? Okay.
I guess we can put it as, and this is the honest truth, that we found where this is. If they have any of their people, chances are this is where they are.
Okay. That'll get their attention.
And
Hopefully
if
it
it
doesn't
isn't
get
where
their
they are,
immediate action.
we'll help them try and track them down.
Charge! What are you doing? Let's charge into the hostage situation.
Well, yes. First we surveil.
Well,
Then we
surveillance will be a lot easier if we have multiple renegades with us with camouflage 4 and 5.
Yeah.
This is very true. I mean, I can ooze, but
The loads of camouflage is pretty nice.
yeah.
I'm mostly limited to non-magical surveillance, like sitting and staking out and looking through a scope.
It's true.
Which, I actually have tracking and survival and all that from my hunting history. But it's non-magical, so.
All right, so you're trying to convince some of the renegades to go along with this and join you for the surveillance step of this.
Yeah.
How are you getting there as a group?
Well, I'm driving Serafina. Fuck it.
All right.
Are we gonna just take one car?
Well,
No way. Serafina's not that big.
so what would you think about this? Whoever's convincing the people to join us, let's make a roll and see how many we can get to come with us, rather than like having a giant pile of them. That would be unmanageable.
You specifically have a thing for this.
What?
I said you guys could have a specific thing for this.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. It's a power roll.
Oh, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, this is how it works. And if you succeed, and nothing bad happens. If you fail, you still succeed, but there's a side effect.
Aha.
I see.
There's a catch.
So, who feels the most secure in their rolling skills?
Not it.
Not me.
Marco, go for
Go,
it.
Marco.
You know you like rolling dice.
Doesn't mean I have been very good at it in this game.
Is it just straight power?
I believe. 1 second. I don't think it's power plus standing, but I will double check.
All right.
Oh. Pretty sure it's just straight. Yeah, it's just straight power. Yeah.
Well, I get to reroll 10s.
Yep. You do.
You picked the right person to roll this.
Well, good.
So,
2.
2. Okay. So that's good enough to. I'll let you have 2 different ones that show up and help out. I know you're going for the camouflage one, so it doesn't need to be super fancy.
Yep.
as long as it's not the inappropriate compartment opening lady.
Yeah, that could be awkward. Funny, worth beats. Not very helpful though.
Yeah. Well, Takara Toyota is would be my recommendation. She's the Camouflage 5 Omnicompetence.
Yeah, Camouflage 5 is really potent.
Yes.
As a second one, I'm just seeing here if there is.
Did they have a liquid person too?
They have one of those as well in that group. I can't remember the name offhand.
Or if there's anybody who knows anything about security.
Well, Saeed's got the thing where he can like look through, where he's got sensor array.
Oh.
And like it's a really, really high level of sensor array.
Yeah, let's get
Sure,
Saeed. He's probably
be
more
good.
on board with stuff anyway. So it would make sense for him to be the person, one of the people who comes.
Yeah. All right. Oh, let's roll some dice. Oh my gosh, where are my dice? That's the kind of session we're having today.
You just walked into the mountain.
He did. Mountains. He's been eaten by the wilds of Denver. Ever to return. Oh, I guess he returned. Nope.
Kaiju.
Hey, Eric, do us a favor and go rah, rah, rah.
You guys are a little strange at times.
We're not the one rampaging in front of a giant city background.
Oh, there.
The best is when you can see all of him except his head.
Yeah.
That's when his head's
personal
in the
favorite.
clouds.
Yeah, as part of some work stuff, they gave me 2 extra monitors to squeeze onto my desk. And I'm going to not need them on the week once I've got my system set up on Monday, but until then, some stuff that was on my desk before has gone elsewhere. So
Wait, they gave you 2 more monitors? Are you up to like 5 now?
I am. But
That's
3 of them are mine that I paid for with my money, so it's not surprising that they would do that, but it's serious overkill on the number of monitors I need on any desk.
Yeah.
You do almost like 360 degree.
It's close. There's room here,
Or
here.
that's
Yeah.
180. But yeah.
This is Circle Vision.
It's absurd. All right. I guess people can start moving things here.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I had a question I was going to ask you.
Sure.
On Abby's desk, has she ever had a picture of her sister out?
Her sister? Yeah, you've probably seen a picture of her sister by now.
Okay. Can we say that I thought to grab a snapshot of that picture with my phone?
Sure.
Okay. Because if Saeed's going to be doing his scanny stuff, I figured it couldn't hurt to give a couple of pictures of people that we are looking for,
Yeah.
particularly if we have to get selective on who we get.
I want to get them all out.
Well, I do want to get them all out, but I figure there's some high priority targets.
And some lower priority targets.
It's not that I don't care. It's just there's loyalty touchstones at stake, people.
There are your loyalty touchdowns, and then there are other people's loyalty touchdowns.
Well, then maybe they should be here right now.
No, sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Other than you and Abby, are they holding anyone against any of us here? They're not really, are they?
Well, the ones they have been holding historically have
That
been
we know of.
they've been holding Danica.
Yeah.
They briefly held your coach, whose name is written down somewhere. Heinrich Stupenwaffel.
What?
I didn't name him. You guys did.
I thought you said
Yes.
stupid waffle.
One could argue that that name is a stupid waffle. It's a stupid
Probably
waffle.
been called that a few times.
Oh, that's stupid waffle.
Yeah. But no, they're not currently holding him hostage. They do also have sorry. Absolutely no reason to be tired. I slept until 9 this morning.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. Unlike yesterday where the kids were jumping on my bed at 7 o'clock in the morning. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
That seems pretty normal.
I would say the advantage of being in the same house with your kid 24/7 for most of the year is that she really treasures the time that you spend apart. And
William is not your son. I mean, your daughter, don't get me wrong, she's very extroverted, but
she is very extroverted, but
William needs to tell you stuff always. There's always something he wants to tell you about.
That's Augustus too.
Yeah.
She does. She also recognizes that the morning times can be her own special quiet time where she gets to relax. Also, see when we're gaming together.
Yeah, that's fair. There's another name that I have on here somewhere.
I don't think they have any of my people.
They don't.
I don't really
they don't have
people.
anyone.
You don't really have people.
Yeah.
And
I think they had one of my conviction touchstones, but then they may have released her.
they did not. I've heard of her name.
They did not release it?
No, she's still there, as it turns out.
Really?
One of the conviction touchdowns?
Yeah, they have a conviction touchstone of Tamsin's still there. No, nobody misses an Olympic athlete until the Olympics happen. Clearly,
Especially when they're from Switzerland.
especially when they're from Switzerland. But yeah, yep. It turns out that that your skis mess muddling opponent is still at the black site.
So they have 2 Tamsin touchdowns, 1 Abby touchdown, and that's pretty much it.
From your group, yeah.
From our group,
But
yeah.
it is definitely not, those are not the only touchstones that are here. There's roughly a dozen private security folks in and around the upper part of the building, like standing guard, standing watch for outside threats, and there's about another dozen that are maintaining the I don't want to call them torture facilities, the holding facilities, where like various you remember how it was, they had various humiliation options and so on to punish or to reward those who are connected to those touchstones. But there's probably, I don't know, a good dozen folks other than the three that are part of your connected to you.
Does Saeed see any of his people there?
Pretty much everyone who has someone there. Oh, well, I'm not sure. That's actually not going to be true because of the Renegades and the recent.
But the people that chose to come with us probably have people there.
Yeah, let's say that the ones they have a personal stake right now.
Well,
We need to look at how to get in, and then way out with a bunch of people. You said it's on a railway.
I mean, there's like a fence that closes to make sure that like people don't just wander in along the railway, but it's made so that it can be moved easily so the train can get out. And probably if the train decided it really needed to move without the fence being moved, the gate being open, it could just go through it. Yeah.
how,
We can arrange a train to be there for us.
or we could arrange for a train to derail into it.
That doesn't seem super likely because the traffic speeds around here are pretty low.
Okay.
Again, it's just that, I mean, they're made just to like be places where like supplies can be dropped off, prisoners can be taken elsewhere, you know, the usual things that you do railroad tracks for in the warehouse district and the Chronicles of Darkness.
So hijacking a train out might not work.
Well, an arranged train, let's say hijacked train.
It is worth noting that right now there is actually a train in the warehouse,
Oh,
and it could theoretically be it's backed in so it could pull forward and out.
hey Benji,
Yeah.
you can drive everything, right?
Hell yeah.
Can you drive a train?
Is it a thing?
I don't know. How do you drive a train?
Well, I'm sure I can work it out.
Awesome.
Well, we could learn, you know, is there a schedule to this train business?
No, it seems like this train has been here for a little while, or it's certainly not. Doesn't seem to be leaving anytime soon.
And it's like a train with like there's an engine and some cars, or
Yes.
there's a car.
Yeah, it's an engine and let's say 5 cars.
Wouldn't it be faster if we got rid of 4 of them?
It would accelerate faster. Yes.
So we need to decouple some cars.
Is it like just the big steel cargo container kind of stuff?
They're like you know, what are they called? Livestock hauling cars.
So
Although they seem to be designed with
similar, but they have open slats.
with what?
It's a big steel box, but it's got open slats for air.
Yeah, a little bit
Basically.
of well, but not slats, but holes. It has air holes. They're up a little bit higher, where it'd be higher than a human's head height, for reasons that will, you know, be obvious eventually.
So I have an idea. It might not be, well, let's see what you think of it. What if Jared was to come down on the side of we should scuttle the black site, because it turns out the Renegades may have compromised the location may be compromised. Like right now we've got surprise on our side, but like we also have like what, a dozen baddies to go through to get it.
Two dozen baddies, because it's a dozen
2 dozen baddies.
looking out
even
and a
better.
dozen looking in.
Yeah, if he's like, well, we think it might be compromised, or at least we know they're going to be coming for it. Let's evacuate it and move to a different location.
Right. And so then we do need to.
Oh, I see.
And then all of a sudden it's a
We do a
train
train
job.
heist.
Instead of a let's go take down this this entrenched facility.
But it could be, if we're pretending to be Jared's email or whatever, maybe we just pre-hijack the train.
True.
Like,
Could do that too.
Like, you're the engineer.
oh yeah, of course. Like the whole point would be that we would be taking the place of a bunch of people who would be on the train, and
Not like
and then-
attacking a train on route somewhere. Which is another option, I guess, if we need to. But I prefer that, like, we disguise up and be the train people,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then give us the prisoners.
no,
I like this too.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then we
okay,
close it up, there's nobody.
So have we had Saeed and our camouflage Takata go and like take a look around yet?
Yeah, they're in and out. That they've already provided you with the information that I've
Okay,
given you.
got it. Okay.
Quick question.
Worth noting that there's no sign of Heather.
Who is Heather?
The
linchpin.
Lynchman. Yeah, there's no sign of Heather inside.
Well, it probably makes sense that she doesn't work out of there.
Well,
She
it-
might have before
Well, yeah.
she went into hiding.
The other thing that, so here's another decision that we probably should make is, if we take down the node ourselves, it means that Gagugagab can't decommission it to heal their damage, right?
Correct. That is a concern.
No, I mean, that's good,
Yeah,
because
that was a
if-
good ooh.
I mean, it's bad in the sense that they'll try to do it to the other place, but if we time things right, we can force them to decommission something that they need.
Instead
Yeah,
of-
but don't we already need the remaining pieces that they have other than this one?
Well, here's the thing: if we steal the association out from under them and and destroy this node, they still are damaged, and then they need to get rid of like the police, or they need to get rid of something else.
Senior.
Yeah. Or we could make it easier on ourselves, and we could, come in and steal, like, for instance, like the necessary people or whatever, like do a smaller operation and convince them to decommission this node on their own. I mean, it's not as flashy, but it's probably safer. It's just that we don't have any idea what they'll do.
As characters, like, we would know it. What does that mean if they decommission it? Are they actually setting all their people free?
Probably not.
Because we, or at least I would think our goal is make sure that the prisoners are freed,
Right.
and we can't trust that to their action.
But like if we rescue the prisoners, for example, and like, but like don't do anything else, the black site still exists. We would have to do something else to make sure the black site was destroyed. Like, we'd have to like track down Sylvia and kill her, or
Heather,
you
but
know,
yes.
Blow it
Yeah.
up or something.
or destroy the physical place or something like that.
Or
The other
without
thing
any
is,
prisoners, then it has no purpose, and they get rid of it as an asset.
yeah,
Right. So
The-
so the two different versions are they heal their damage by getting rid of it, or we destroy it so much that they can't even do that.
It might be hard if we don't know where this missing Heather person is.
Right.
Yeah, but if we manage to, if we do, I guess that takes away the idea of doing like live feed to try and expose what's happening there. To get rid of it that way.
I will say that the one the other bad part of trying to get them to move the prisoners and then interrupting their travel is that they will almost certainly ramp security way up, and then you know, if we've got to mess with this place in the future, then security is going to be that much
What happens if
higher.
we? Right. Yeah. No, we can't F it up, basically. Like we need to
can't
be
do
in
that.
place at that time or whatever. What if you were Sylvia?
Ooh.
You mean Heather?
Shit. Yes. Sorry, I keep getting all the names wrong.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Do you know what she looks like? Would we be able to? Is there a company directory someplace?
That is a good question. How paranoid is Heather? Like,
We know she's
you know what?
vain.
I'm just gonna give you the beat now and say that she is so paranoid that even when she's on conference calls, she has a fake, basically an avatar instead of her real face. So
Ooh.
nobody in the conspiracy has actually seen her face, but the people who work with her have.
Well, we are presuming that she has been at this black site at some point, yes?
Yeah.
And I am at this black site.
But
See where
but
you're going
you
with that.
seeing her doesn't help us face steal her.
We're all mentally connected.
Oh God, you're right. You could even bring us into the
And
Yeah.
So
You've done that before.
There is that. There is a part of bumped up Shadows of the Past that you may not know that I know because I recently read The Power and all that. I can steal someone from time and bring them back.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I had no
Do
idea.
you have enough? Because there are caveats to that. Yes,
You can do it once.
once per story. Yeah.
Well, you can do it more, but at the suffrage of
Yeah.
major instability. But
Well,
Medium, but yes.
I don't know that there's a need to bring an alternate time Heather, but I'm just saying this is a thing that exists as a power.
Okay. All right.
But since I'm at that site surveilling, I would like to see a time where Heather was present.
Okay.
You should bring somebody with you. You should bring Steve with you.
I can bring people with,
Yeah,
no problem.
bring Steve with if he's gonna steal a face.
I wonder, do I even need to bump it up? Let me look. I think if I bump it up, it would be to get more accurate.
That might not be a bad plan because you don't know whether she just stops by here every once in a great while or whether she basically lives here except now.
Yeah. Oh, it's not on my. Yeah, I have to scroll a bunch. Hold on. Here we go.
Steve, can you get high enough base steel to do the thing that Abby can do, where you know basic things that she would know?
Good question. Let me take a look at the powers.
I think
I
I think I'm going to treat doing this with Face Thief similar to doing it from a photo. If that makes any sense, because you're not going to be stealing her face while you're in the vision. You have to steal it after the fact.
That makes sense.
Okay.
if it does make it easier, if it makes sense, I mean, I'll bring Steve and whoever else, but if he's getting a direct view, maybe it's a little different than like my mental memory of it.
Yeah, I would say that it's probably easier, and I would, there are penalties I would not impose in that situation.
Yeah, I have the living history, so that allows me to interact. Where's the, oh, it's, yeah, the base 3 power is bringing other people. So yeah, I don't have to do anything. It's to get the precision part of it.
Yeah.
To bump it up to 4 magnitude.
Yeah, getting a group was the default, because otherwise it gets to be a very annoying power in actual play.
So I only have enough for Face Thief 3, so I don't believe I can do the other one.
Okay. Well, it does occur to me that, okay, I think it's just probably too dangerous to involve Abby in this. So you're just going to have to wing it.
Well,
it's okay.
We'll see. Maybe we can get a fair gauge of mannerisms, speech, etc. during this foray into the past.
What happens if you face thief somebody who is face thieving? Can you face thief and then Abby face thiefs you and get Sylvia's knowledge?
She'd probably get Steve's knowledge.
That's not a bad question.
That's a legitimate question, but I think the answer is no. Yeah, I think you would get Steve's knowledge.
Yeah, that's true.
That's too bad.
Good thought, though. That's clever.
Yeah. So who should come with to look at a time where Heather was at the site?
Well, Steve, I think, is a no-brainer.
Well, yeah,
sure.
Steve for sure. Yes.
Yeah, let me come too, because if I can see if I can case it from the inside, I can help better.
Yeah, it'll definitely get you some kind of bonus on larceny and so forth.
Yeah.
All right, 3 of us.
I guess I'll just stay here.
You can come. It doesn't say there's a limit.
Well,
just remember, somebody should be watching what's happening to our bodies.
Yeah, I will stay and keep watch over things.
Okay. I'm not going to delve into this as a full scene. I think we're just going to.
Fair enough.
Noel, I'm going to give you, I guess, wits plus larceny, and then whatever you get as number of successes, I'm just going to let you apply as a bonus, as an equipment bonus to those larceny rolls when the actual event is going on.
Okay.
We just say that while this is going on, I'm working with Saeed to create a decent floor plan of what he's observed.
Okay.
Steve's main goal would be looking at finding Heather and all that. That I would probably want to be doing some more of the Snoopy bits like Benji's doing, but more of whatever my alley would be with power stuff, science, survival. I don't know.
Noel, let me know what you roll. I'll get back to you momentarily, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out. I'm going to activate my data warehouse to give me
As
perfect
much as
memory.
you can. Oh, okay, yeah.
Eidetic memory of what's going on here.
I think that just gives you a bonus on remembering stuff, which is worth adding to this roll.
What's that now?
I said, I think that flat out gives you a bonus to recall details. That I think just gives you a flat out bonus to this wits plus larceny roll. Quite honestly.
Okay. How many dice?
Let me just double check. I think it's +4, but it's been a long time since anyone's used this merit in a game of mine. Eidetic memory. Recalling minute details, it's a +2 bonus.
Okay. All right, and I get 9 again for this. Boy, I'm glad ones don't count against you. I rolled 5 of them.
Jeez.
Oh shit. All right. Well, that was okay. Still rolling 9s. Okay. That's the most successes I've rolled on a single die in a very long time.
How many did you get?
4 on a single die.
Wow.
But I initially only rolled 3 successes, re-rolled successes on all of them. And yeah, 9 again is really good. I got 7.
I guess you actually get this too.
Or no, 8. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter after 5, probably.
But yeah, okay, that's ridiculous. So, yeah, I guess. Well, I did say 1 per. That's just ungodly. Okay, that's disgusting. I guess you get a +8 bonus on all those kinds of rolls when we actually get to that scene. That's disgusting.
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, being
yeah,
good at larceny hasn't really been very useful, like for most of the game, but I guess when we're doing this.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So Steve 100% definitely gets a Heather image. Hey, and it works in your favor because no one outside of the site has ever seen her. There's no reason that they would question you.
Nice. Yay for using adaptations.
Yeah. So do we ride her in and see all the security protocols then? Is that what the big bonus is?
Yes. As an added bonus, or maybe not a bonus per se, because it looks like they've already hauled off about half of their prisoners on another train.
Like
like
now, you mean?
Not right now, but it was within about, you know, when there was all those emails were flying back and forth, and it was clear that she was a little concerned that there was a target on her back. She split her assets, so she moved half of her prisoners elsewhere.
Are we determining that because this is pre or?
This happened before you were on site, but it just happened to fall right during the time that you were watching the events, using your post-cognition stuff, your Shadows of the Past.
I'm confused.
You were looking for a time that Heather was here.
And you're saying it's not long ago.
It was not long ago, but she left at the same time as the first train of prisoners left. You get a pretty strong sensation that the train left, Heather left, they took half of their assets elsewhere. The train came back. You don't see it coming back because that happened even more recently, but it'd be outside of the range of your.
Yeah, that would be in between vision.
But the fact is there's a train here again. The train is back.
So I guess if figuring that out, I would try and find where that train went.
Well, you don't get an opportunity to jump on the train. She's overseeing its movement, or she's overseeing it being outside. But it's like it's not that she's right there when it leaves, but she's definitely gives the order to move the prisoners out.
Just
Well, in the shadows of the past, I'm going to be trying to find where's the train going.
yeah, if she's overseeing its movement, we should know where its destination is, right?
It's
There's
probably
only so many places that
can-
a train can go.
Yeah,
it's
we
got to
can
be a
always.
location. Go from
Yeah.
here to here.
You, at the very least, will have a pretty good sense of potential destinations. It's worth noting that she took none of the ones that were close to you or to your renegade companions.
So all our people are here now.
Correct. It's quite clear that this is a sacrificial pawn. She's hoping that you'll take what you can get and be satisfied with it and not realize that she took a bunch of other folks away.
That kind of messes with our plans, though.
Well, we now got half of the people to rescue somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does screw up our plans considerably.
Oh, maybe. Well, no, that doesn't really help. But I mean, we can figure out where the rest of them are. I mean, there's train tracks leading there, so.
To some point, it might be they take a train to this point, then they're unloaded onto a truck, and then that truck goes who knows where.
That's a risk, for sure. But
What did you have?
I mean, how easy is it to? But again, there are still leverage points here that you have. One, you're freeing your leverage folks. That's not to be dismissed.
Yeah.
Another element of this is you could theoretically still try to draw attention to this in a way that would make this make the whole node a liability instead of an asset. It is just harder than it was before you knew this information.
Well, so the trick, like that wouldn't be that difficult. It's just that doing it without getting all those people killed has just become considerably more difficult.
Yeah.
Because we can't even really, as soon as we hit this place, those people are in jeopardy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if we know she knows that we might hit this place, maybe that means that I guess those people's lives are the only thing that's keeping her going and keeping her useful.
So she's unlikely to sacrifice them.
Yeah, we don't want her to be useful, though, is the big problem.
Yeah.
So we've got to find a way to get everyone.
The only thing I can think of is doing some kind of political juggling that involves fake Jared to somehow argue for setting them free rather than killing them as a gagungagab benefit somehow.
That's a thought. Yeah.
They become if the liability becomes baked in, if we kill them all, if we let them go, sure, we lose our leverage on the people that they're attached to, but we don't have their ire forever either.
I guess that is a concern when you've got a bunch of
because what they're trying to do right now is mitigate damage, right?
Yep, they're trying to mitigate.
So I guess I could see a scenario where we convince them to cut off the black site node, but ensure that they set those people free rather than kill them, it's going to require some serious political finesse, though,
Or
on fake
maybe a
Jared's
whole
part.
bunch of pheromones at the right person.
I guess so.
I wonder.
Oh God! If you roll high enough, with pheromones, you gain status in whatever group.
Yeah,
You could just walk the hell in.
if I could manage to get a 4.
Is it
I
a
mean-
under differential that you just boss everybody around?
Nope, that's at 4.
Oh.
At 5, it affects
Oh, it's
everybody who's
at,
human.
at 5, it's an aura.
Yeah.
What if fake Jared, ghost Karen, and pheromones Tamsin all walk into the meeting at the same time?
This is sounding like the opening to a joke.
Yeah.
So fake Jared, ghost Karen, and pheromones Tamsin walk into a bar.
What if you were to go and declare independence straight up,
Ooh.
and we could burn Jared from Gagungagab by pretending that he's sided with us?
I like
That's a
that
thought.
idea. I was going to suggest if we could find a way to convince them to, as part of the goodwill shutdown, to get the group to decide to pin it on Jared, to make him into the sacrificial lamb, so to speak. But this is also fun.
Yeah.
Not
I
that
don't
we
think
know
they
it, but
can pin it on little Jared, though.
Not without replacing him as a hierarchical node or hierarchical linchpin first, because if he goes, the
Yeah.
whole conspiracy goes.
So fake Jared probably would work better.
Well, Big Jared would have to take over the hierarchical node again,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
I mean, we don't really care how they deal
No.
with their thing, but
Yeah.
but basically we declare independence, and we basically say, we'll keep destroying you unless you let these people live. We're making it really easy for you. Point at Heather and say, she's the one who goes. You're going to stop doing that, or else we'll continue the war. I don't know. That this is sounding more and more like a silly Knoll idea.
That doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do, though.
I mean, if we entertain Eric enough.
It's entertain or die is really the maxim, right? I mean,
Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Well, because Jared can call an in-person meeting, right?
And probably have it happen.
Yeah. Shit. We could do it.
We just need to figure out how we get Ghost Karen to come with us.
Well, do we need Ghost Karen there? He was
I
just
don't think
saying
we do.
because it exists, but
We don't actually know if Karen is really on our side yet, so
Well, but that's the thing is like it you know, to some extent, like this is a you know, the thing is if we bring her with, we can basically be like, you know, Mr. Briggs, the guy who's in charge of the association, you're coming with us. And then, you know, freak them out with Ghost Karen. I don't know. I think Ghost Karen's fucking hilarious, so I just want to involve her in every plan that I can. Plus, she knows shit about these people that we don't.
probably.
So how do we summon Ghost Karen? Do we go into a dark bathroom, stand in front of the mirror, and like put the art in the bathroom slightly askew. And
That's how you get straight up murdered by Ghost Karen.
I think all we do is walk into her office and
Less Bloody Mary, more Candyman.
I think we just email her and tell her to be at the meeting. Like, I think that'll be enough. She's
Can we just test to make sure her email actually works first, rather than just like shooting it out and be like, hey, Karen, join us at this meeting? Because otherwise IT is probably going to be very, very confused if she isn't actually set up for email. Does the ghost have a machine, in other words?
The ghosts have a machine. I don't think Karen's email is still active, unfortunately.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it's been long enough that I mean, they've assigned someone else to the job, so it seems reasonable that they would take her off the payroll.
It would probably auto forward to me.
Well, I don't even know that it auto forwards at this point. It's been a couple months, I think, hasn't it? I mean,
not really. What month is it right now?
It is currently mid-September.
We did have.
So it's been like 2 months at most.
Yeah, but still, 2 months is sufficient to shut off people's email addresses in a corporation. Yeah. I had a coworker who died last year. His email address was deactivated pretty damn quick.
I guess it would depend if they would be a contact outside of the organization or not, because in my experience, stuff tends to auto, like the ones I've been with where they've been working with customers.
You guys, I was so joking. I'm serious. Like, for the love of God.
Noel doesn't want us to argue about this, I guess.
I am so done with this conversation.
Okay.
It's not the 10th time in this game that I have made an offhand comment that has turned into a 15-minute conversation.
No, it's definitely not. It's way higher than that. You just always ask such interesting questions, Noel. And we want to answer your questions.
Oh, God. Stop.
I've been in customer service for 20-something years. I'm incapable of not answering questions.
And you are capable of aggressively answering questions that somebody doesn't want answered anymore.
Well, you didn't want the answer. You just asked me the question.
All right, so I guess our best option is to just go into Karen's office and ask for Karen, I guess.
Okay, but hang on. Let's go back for a second. We still have to rescue this group of people.
Yes, let's rescue this group of people first.
So how do we do that? Okay, so if I'm playing Heather, then what do I have them do?
It's a train came back, so that seems to imply that she was still planning to move the rest somewhere.
Potentially, yeah.
So we just go in and duplicate what she just did, basically, have the rest of them loaded up into the train.
Yeah.
She's brought outside security personnel from the Theta facility or whatever we want to call the.
Yeah.
Sure.
The other place that these guys are going. No, nobody's getting fired.
Everything's going great.
We gotta abandon this site because it's risky. We're just gonna load up the rest of the people on the train and ship them out as well, like we did the last group this one.
As soon as we know that this site is not compromised, we'll start using it again, whatever. She doesn't have to explain herself. She
doesn't want people to know that she knows that it's compromised. So she has them just pretend everything is as normal, and they just,
They just stick there. Yeah.
All right. Do we think we can pull it off?
I think we can find out.
I think it's a pretty good plan.
Hmm.
it's probably the best start that we can come up with that isn't like, let's go in guns a-blazing.
Yeah. No,
You
we're
guys-
definitely not doing that. I have way too much damage on me to do that.
You guys are not, your success rate as going in with all guns blazing is not very high.
No.
We did get Abby back.
But we
You
need
did.
to prepare a bit to get us in the right spots to do it, right? We need Benji to be able to drive the train off.
Yeah.
Me
So-
somewhere where I'm not going to be glowing at someone. And the other people in to talk their way through it.
Right. So the rest of us suit up in whatever, we get some uniforms. They don't have to match the ones that they just have to be all the same.
Right.
And we're her new we're her new train people to bring, because it's important that nobody at this site knows where the other site is.
Yes.
Um,
So that they can't accidentally give anything away
right.
in the event that they're tortured. Which would never happen.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Like I'll plan to probably maybe try and be in the train so that once people are loaded, if people figure it out and like try to come after them, I can beam them in their eyeballs.
Could you be like somehow, I don't know, like clinging to the ceiling of the car, pretending to be a light?
It would be a very strange looking light.
Well, only if people look up.
So in the Shadows of the Past thing, did I get a good sense of what I was going to have to do as Heather to get people on trains?
You have enough like I said, the biggest defense you're going to have or advantage you're going to have is the fact that nobody except the people at this site actually know what Heather looks like, so they have no reason to question you.
Okay.
So that's going to be the number one thing. Unless you're, I don't know, even if you act pretty suspiciously, you have a little bit of protection just because of that. They're not going to like demand the password from you. They've been working with her for a while, and they know that she likes to keep her secrets. And
Gotcha.
But you just watched her perform this procedure, so
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Is I want
Yeah.
to make sure I know what it is that I'm doing before I
what
go
you're
and do
directing
it.
them to do. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have enough information. To
And
have
anything-
them loaded up.
and any questions that you have, you just trash talk it to me, and I can try and help because I have a perfect memory of what happened.
Mhm.
Perfect.
All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was.
Plan.
We
lot
have
of
a
fun.
plan.
We do have a plan. So
We don't
Oh,
really
God,
need to
it's
play it out
8:45.
though. Yeah. We don't really need to play it out though, right? It's just going to go perfect and then.
That it
yeah,
just-
clearly,
Reality would only mess with it.
only going to make it harder.
So is there anything else? So let's say we successfully rescue them, everybody that's in this facility.
Yep.
What do we need to do anything else before we do some kind of crazy boardroom meeting shenanigans?
Probably.
We should also plan, where are we going with the train? What are we doing with them? It's probably not just drive down the tracks 50 feet and open up the door and say, "You're free."
Yeah, that didn't work last time.
I think we should take them back to Serendipitous Gardens.
Yeah, that's
We-
probably
yeah.
the safest option. Hopefully the non-diverged ones won't diverge in the short period of time that they're there.
So then, if that's our plan, obviously we can't bring the train here. So we have to also then, where is our train
Logistics.
stop? And then we have to have transport from there to the condo.
Okay. How many prisoners in total are we looking at?
Let's call it a dozen.
Okay, so we need
This is
Semi,
this is
moving
totally a
van,
job for the Renegades, right?
school
Yeah.
bus.
I think you're right.
I
Yeah.
didn't hear what you said, Noel. What?
This is totally a job for the Renegades. Like,
Yeah. They can rent some vans and drive people.
right.
Specify a point and then, yeah, drop them
The
there.
plan is to bring them by train to this spot, meet us there, drive them back to the condo.
Or a mass Uber order.
Oh God,
Instead
this
of
is
like,
gonna be such a disaster.
you don't know
It's-
that.
So if this does go well, and it probably won't, but if it does, what do we think we have to do in addition to that to make this place a liability? Is just taking the people enough? Like,
Well, so one, it no longer has any prisoners as leverage.
yeah,
Two, if we actively say this is part of the reason we are fighting you guys, if you keep it around, we're going to keep fighting you guys, then now it's, well, we should probably get rid of this thing and try and mitigate the damage from the us. Because that's what they're trying to do.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have them.
If we tell them, hey, if you guys get rid of this prisoner holding torture stuff, then we'll back off, then that gives them reason to do so.
It does occur to me that we could play this a little differently. What if we go in there and claim that Heather's on our side already? And that she gave us.
You're talking about this
Prisoners.
at the meeting.
Yeah,
that would be a pretty good reason to jettison her.
yeah.
Yeah.
What if she's at the meeting?
No, I mean, we're going to order her to be at the meeting. And if she doesn't come to the meeting, that's only going to make her look more suspicious. If she does come to the meeting, that means she's burned herself and she's no longer really useful for being her anymore because everybody knows what she looks like.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is like either way, we spin it that that her entire operation is a failure, and that she's compromised.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
And I mean, she can say whatever she wants about nuh-uh, and then we can roll the tape.
With
Yeah.
Yeah.
With us unloading the hostages onto buses. And she
Right.
can be there.
Right.
She can be there overseeing it.
Yeah. Now, granted, she'll
Good.
know what's up,
Yeah,
but
but that won't matter. It'll be enough.
yeah.
Because of the high pheromones role, she'll just do what Tamsin said.
Potentially. All right. Oh my gosh. I don't think vignettes needed right now. We're kind of close to time anyway.
Yeah, we
had
did
one at
one
the beginning
mid-session
we had
anyway.
one at the early beginning of the session, which went pretty well, I thought.
Yeah.
No new touchstones.
Nope.
Did anyone
well,
affirm a wavering? Not really, I don't think. The only one wavering.
I mean, I don't know yet if Serendipitous Gardens can be solid for me yet.
Oh, Serendipitous Gardens. Yes, I will just let you have that. That's fine.
Okay.
You've definitely been working in its best interests as you know them.
Let's see. Maybe I should take Heather as a conviction.
You could do that. She'd be wavering initially.
Certainly messing with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely doing that.
Definitely messing with her.
8 then.
All right. Let's see. Oh, there was definitely some. Let's see if we got. Definitely some messing with various conviction touchstones. Hampson gets to get medium for Abby, if you would like.
Get immediate. Oh, heal.
Heal. Sorry. Clear. Pretty much, if you have someone at this facility that you're trying to rescue, and that you've been spending this time casing, I would say you can heal some medium for that as well. And then,
Man, I'm almost stable.
yeah, I bet you are. Especially, well, yeah. So, well, it's easy. It's easy out there for a devoted. And how's your willpower looking, by the way? Because if you're devoted, that actually comes into play.
I think I'm full.
Okay. Well, hasn't been a lot of burn on that. You guys do have some days between.
We still recover 1 from sleeping in this game?
We do.
Okay. Yeah.
I know you don't usually have too much issue unless I am pushing you hard.
Well, so we've only slept once since the big heist, right?
Yeah. That was yesterday.
Here we are doing another heist.
Yep. I mean, to some extent, we knew it was coming, but
Well, it's going to be on a different day, so there's going to be prep and sleeping between then.
Yeah.
It seems likely.
How long does it take to heal one lethal?
Every
days.
2 days.
2 days. Okay, so I got 1 more day.
Yep.
so I don't think I touched any of my touchstones here other than driving my car to the
You soothed Zechariah.
yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah.
I didn't save him though.
No, I guess I haven't gotten into the aspirations yet, have I?
Yeah, I didn't really do any other touchstone touching.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, so you did Serendipitous
than
Gardens.
Yep.
Steve,
Other than Chris.
other than Chris. No, Chris is fine. Tamsin has definitely been involved with stuff. Yeah, you guys hit your touchstones enough that you won't like gain instability next session,
Yeah.
which is the main goal here. So save Zechariah, getting into aspirations. That's sort of borderline.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like you saved him, you probably didn't save him. Fight off
No,
value
I mean,
under
like-
Cones, no, yeah.
Well, okay, so I mean, I guess I was completely misunderstanding what the situation was, but
Yeah.
And to be fair, he didn't know either. He didn't know
okay.
how immediate it was going to be. But as soon as he realized that, they're not actually just running up to my door, and I'm not going to have to make a last stand in front of the infrastructure, and like be a monster.
Yeah, I don't feel like I've saved him yet, but
Okay.
then again, I think I'm changing my aspiration because I don't think I can save him imminently right now anyway.
Yeah.
So
1 second here. I'm going to put one conspiracy or one conspiracy. All right, Danica, or Danica, Hampson did confirm that that Danica is at the black site. You didn't rescue her yet, but I'd say that given that's a two-part, you can probably just make that your aspiration for next. I'll give you this one this week.
Yo, I
So
don't know what in the world my aspiration is going to be once she's safe.
rescue Danica.
Yep.
All right, Steve, what are you doing next week?
I'm gonna pass as Heather.
Pass as Heather. Saul,
Rescue prisoners.
rescue prisoners. Benji,
drive a train.
I'm cocaine. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed.
Well, I bet there's
Trouble
some-
ahead, trouble behind.
There's gonna be bad things happening, and Benji's gonna be out front being like, "All right, guys,
I
I'm
got a
driving this train
train.
anyway.
I've got a train.
You guys got that."
Gosh. Okay, so that's that. So 3 beats apiece.
You said 3 beats apiece?
Yep. There's a conspiracy beat left over in the beat jar.
That is 1.
All right.
You used the effort you generated to pull in the devoted. Yeah, right now until you have a full conspiracy, you don't actually get conspiracy actions, but you can fuel them with your own effort or by like taking damage for your conspiracy.
Aha.
I'm gonna keep it relatively simple for you folks for now because we only got a few sessions left, but that's the mechanics that are undergirding these that I'm keeping track of for you.
How much is it to buy a variation again?
4.
Okay, I think I'm gonna buy enhanced speed.
And you
Oh,
said
okay.
that
Do you have scar? You have a scar already to cover it?
I've got a medium instability.
Oh, hey! So you can have a scar. Okay.
Yeah.
you said you can even cash in them.
Minor.
Yeah, you can. I'm human. Anyway, it's just usually not
Learning a lot.
worthwhile to ditch a minor for an entire scar because scars are harsh.
They are.
Reversible, but
The amount of scar should somehow be tied to the degree of instability used.
nah, it's fine.
Because then
Yeah, no, I understand what you're talking about, but no, I don't want to do that. I think this game is already very has a lot of teeth that fit really tightly together. I don't want to make it overwhelmingly mechanical, and I think that would do so. We're trend toward that. All right, so you said you're looking at enhanced speed.
Yep.
What scar are you looking to support that?
What do you call it? I think I'm gonna kick up my or wait, is it
If you want
do
to just
multiple scars with
here's the way.
thing.
There's 2 options. If you have medium scar, or if you have a medium instability, it increases the magnitude of one of your scars by 1. You
yeah.
can lock that in permanently in order
take a variation.
to either take a variation or upgrade one of your existing variations.
Yeah, let's do that.
So you're going to worsen
Alternate persona.
alternate persona.
Amnesia's
Okay.
already at 5. So
Yeah, I know it is. Amnesia can't. I hate to say it can't get any worse, but it really can't.
really can't.
Being an
So
artificial person.
What is the alternate persona like additional feature that you've enabled now?
That is a good question. I do not have that in front of me.
We can discuss it over email in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Or even like bring it up next session beginning. But
sense.
I've got it right here.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
was saying.
never mind.
I thought that maybe you had one in mind.
Yeah, because
No, I
I
didn't.
didn't realize it stopped at
And
3.
what level?
The rest are all just.
And are you getting enhanced speed 3?
What?
Are you getting enhanced speed 3? What magnitude enhanced speed are you picking up?
It's not 4 experience for any level of variation, is
It's
it?
any level of variation
Yeah.
that's supported by your existing scars.
Yeah, that's
Oh
why I
my
got started
God.
at 3.
It's nice. There's some options if you have enhanced
Well-
speed 3.
I think I need to think about this.
Okay.
It might not even be enhanced speed anymore.
Okay.
I just need to think about this, I think.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming in a good way.
Yeah. I thought I was just getting a dot of a variation somewhere. Okay.
Well, I'll say I have a minor instability. I have 4 XP. I will consider something just if we're kind of wrapping up in the next whatever sessions, that just to find something else to play with.
Yeah.
I'm not beholden to it. I don't have any specific plans, but
Okay. Well, just let me know. We can chat over email. Or we can even bring up some stuff a little bit at the beginning of next session.
Yeah.
I've got 3 XP. I'm just sitting on it to perhaps buy another variation before the end here, but
Now everyone buys variations. The end game is in sight, and you're like, I think I can handle scars for a new scar for 5 sessions or 3 sessions. You know,
Well, it's more of, well, I can see how this would be useful, and we don't really have this. I'm just looking for one more experience so I can be the boss.
So you can be the boss.
4 more beats, which means we need to make what?
16.
16 beats in the jar?
15, because there's one in there.
1 in the jar. 15 beats.
That's doable especially in a scenario that has a lot of stuff going on, especially if bad things are happening.
A lot of scrolling,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff going wrong.
Yeah.
train
This
job
was a
seems,
lot of train jobs.
seems like there's lots of opportunity for things to go
Indeed.
horrifically wrong.
Yeah, it does.
Now I'm sure this will go perfect. It'll be great, you guys.
With a name like the train job, it's pretty much impossible to succeed.
Yeah.
Good times. All right. Let me see if there's anything else I need to think about before we stop for the night. All right, we're good. All right. So once again, I'm Eric Zawadzki. I'm the developer for the Deviant Renegades game. This is my regular tabletop group meeting in quarantine. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Jake playing Steve.
Oh, playing Benji.
Rachel, playing Cautionary.
Mark playing Solomon.
Thank you for watching.